Good afternoon, Mike Tabback. I appreciate you joining the show today out of Phoenix South. What's the weather looking like this time of year?
It's a brisk 117 on most days. Uh, It's good. You just stay out of the direct sunlight and your skin stays on your body. It's fine. It's easy.
Absolutely. Are you from the Phoenix area originally?
I was born and raised in Phoenix. Yeah, I grew up here, went to junior high and high school, and then I ended up in Los Angeles area for about 6 years. And when I got out of the military, the family had moved back to Arizona, so came back to the home state.
Perfect. Well, that tees me up perfectly for my next question, which was let's dive into a little bit about your background prior to onboarding here with Safe Haven.
I've been in sales and management for 31 years now. I started out in retail. You're actually looking at the youngest store manager of a Blockbuster Video in history. I got a Blockbuster Video store on my 18th birthday, and about a year and a half later, I was blowing dust off of laser discs in the back corner of the store, and I thought this may not be the growth opportunity I was looking for. And I transitioned, stayed in retail. I actually sold Western wear out of malls in California, in which case, just like Blockbuster, malls started to go away, so it wasn't really growth opportunity there either.
Yep.
And at that point, I realized I needed to have a roof over my head and 3 meals a day, and the United States Marine Corps was willing to offer. So
They were
I
calling your
joined.
name.
Yeah, joined the Marine Corps and spent basically the next 4+ years overseas, jumping out of helicopters and kicking in doors and having a good time. And when I got out of the military, my family had come back to Arizona. So it was actually a family owned and operated business that we were working at. It was a radio station, a news talk sports radio station in Sedona, Arizona. And I did sports shows and talk shows and sold advertising for 17 years there. And was looking for the next thing to do in life. I actually went through some personal tragedies and whatnot. Had lost a son, went through a divorce, and I needed to make a certain level of income to pay for my wife's existence, my kids.
Yeah.
And I realized that the thing that I always used to use for that in the past was sales. So
Sure.
I moved back down to Phoenix and started looking for something to sell. In this case, I didn't want to sell something that was going to go away. So
Yep.
I looked at doing I was doing part-time work at selling water systems in people's homes. I'd never done that before, and bartending on the side. And then Safe Haven called, and I went out to Kansas City and met with you guys, and the rest is history. This has been by far the most fun I've ever had in my professional life. The people I've met, the people that are not just fellow coworkers, but family members. It's been amazing.
So, Mike, from Blockbuster to the military experience and then making the shift to residential alarm sales here with Safe Haven, talk to me a little bit about what that transition was like for you, kind of what those feelings were like.
It was interesting. I'm not gonna lie. It was something completely and totally different for me. I had made 6-figure incomes in the past. I'd been doing a lot of sales for many years. I really kind of honestly thought knocking doors was beneath me. You know what I mean? I really had that kind of impression at first. But I knew what the income levels could be. And that was what I was chasing, was what I could provide for my family and what it could do for a reboot in my career. Not every day you turn around and change careers in your 40s. So I was like, man, I gotta put some effort into this and figure it out. And I won't lie to you, it was nerve-wracking. Like it was a little crazy at first. I sold my first ever door. And I thought, I'm going to make $1 million. This is amazing. And then I blanked the whole rest of the day. I blanked the whole rest of the next day and the whole rest of Friday. My second sale at Safe Haven came when I knocked the door at 9:15 p.m. And I got my second ever deal. And that's when I realized that the work ethic and stuff was going to have to maintain me until I truly figured this out, because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I have a background in security. I used to do naval installations, like top secret facilities, and providing like real deal security.
Sure.
And I knew how to like explain, protecting yourself and how to do it to customers. So I had some good experience there. But it was a whole different beast dealing with brand new homeowners and really kind of diving into the emotional reasons that people want to protect themselves and their family.
Sure.
And I got so much satisfaction out of that one deal, and then the next one, and then the next one, that I told somebody the other day. I was like, I never did this before, and I will never not knock doors the rest of my life. Like, this is just way too much fun. The people I meet, the things that we're able to do. When you get that first phone call from a crying customer because the system you designed for them saved their life, their family's life, I'm sold at that point. It's never been anything that I'll ever do again.
Mike, I love that you said that, and I'm going to come back and ask you a little bit about that impact story that you shared with customers. But you said something so important, and you made a comment that you felt early on that this was beneath you. I want to hear a little bit more about what, I guess, your perception was coming in, feeling like it was beneath me, and what your reality tells you now.
Yeah, I think I had that bad taste in my mouth that a lot of people in sales get for certain types of positions. I will never sell cars because I don't want that kind of lifestyle. I don't want people to look at me in that way. And I kind of felt the same way about people that knock on doors. And I didn't realize the differences in what Safe Haven is in comparisons to other positions that are door knocking, canvassing kind of positions. It's not the same as what we do. The design around this and the understanding of it. And once I got that dialed in, and once I understood what I was trying to accomplish and the service that I was providing, it became super easy, and something I can take confidence in what I do and what I represent to every door. And it was eye opening, to say the least. It's a whole different type of a sale. It's a whole different type of a culture. And in all honesty, you go through the entire process from everything that we teach. The systematic approach is just amazing. But if you do every single step along the way, and you just take care of the little objectives along the way, you get done, and you've got an alarm sale. More often than not, you have a solar sale or a consult set up. You have referrals and extra income from that. And I didn't feel like I was selling anything. I was just having a conversation. It's really amazing.
So your perception of what this was going to look like differed a little bit than the reality when you actually started interacting with our customer base. And I hear it often, the perception around door to door, rather than this particular style or approach that we use, which is speaking very just openly with new homeowners, which have an interest in security, and just kind of laying out their options and giving them a little bit more education as to what it would look like if they did want to protect that investment.
That's it.
So
it's pretty simple. Like when it comes down to this and what we do, we don't actually sell anything. We provide a service, and we make sure that we take care of them in ways they couldn't be doing for themselves, because they're just getting moved in. They've got way more on their plate than anybody does. And all those things end up being put on the back burner. And we get to come in and help them check all those boxes, take care of the things they really need to, and protect themselves and their family when they need it most. And by the time I get done in a house nowadays, I get hugs. I get, friends for life. People invite me over to picnics and things like that. And it's just really amazing. We have such a great interaction with our customers. I will never find that pure of a sale in anything else in life. And I've sold a lot of things over the years, and I've never found an interaction that was more honest and more pure than what we do. It's just amazing.
I love hearing it. Absolutely. Are there any particular stories that you could share with me or the viewers, just a little bit about maybe an impact story, a customer you were able to help out or potentially help over that hump of just being so overwhelmed and having so many moving parts early on? Let's dive into a little bit about some of that impact that you've seen out there in the field.
There's, oh my goodness, so many. I remember so many customers in different ways. I had a customer one time. It was a single gal. She's probably mid-30s. Had just bought a little 2-bedroom condo. had 9 cats. Okay. 9 cats. And I told her, I said, the reality of pets, and not a lot of people realize this, but when you have a pet, every pet has a name. When you take that pet to the vet and you get the bill at the end, it has their name and your last name. That's how much a member of the family they really are. And I told her, I said, when that comes to be, like, you have to protect them like you would your own kids, like a spouse or anybody else. I want to make sure that we give you a monitored smoke and heat sensor, because if you have 9 cats, believe me, it's like WWE SmackDown in here when you go to work for the day. I guarantee it. Something gets knocked over, a fire starts. Yep. We have the ability to get the fire department out here within minutes and make sure that your putty tats are going to be just fine and make it. And sure enough, I get a call probably about 9 months later. And this gal is crying on the phone. Thank you so much. You saved my family. She had a Keurig in her kitchen, and she's doing her morning routine. She makes her coffee. She gets her coffee. She bolts out the door. She throws her phone, her purse, and everything on the passenger seat. She has about a 45-minute commute to work. By the time she gets to work, she pulls her phone out, and it's just blown up. And she calls ADT back. I said, hey, we had a fire. Fire department's already been on scene, has put out the fire. Everything's okay. It's contained. She gets home. All the cats are alive. The Keurig had fritzed out the outlet on her wall in the kitchen, and it caught fire, and it went up the drywall and caught the cabinet on fire. By then, the fire department was out there. She had one area of cabinets that needed to be redone, and the drywall and that electrical fixed. Very easy and very simple. But all the cats were alive, and that was like, she just was just blown away. She's like, you talked about this. You talked about the possibility of this happen and how we could remove that. She's like, I can't believe it. You were so right. You saved my family, my 9 cats.
What an incredible story. Oftentimes we hear from these new homeowners, we're just so overwhelmed. This is kind of something we're thinking about down the road. And I think where we're really able to come into play is just the education as to what it can do for them and how it's so cost effective through that new homeowner program that we're able to offer to them. What a great impact story, and the ability to save all 9 cats is just extraordinary. Mike, man, I appreciate you taking out some time and sharing your story with us today. Real quick before we jump off, you guys do a great job in Phoenix. You guys run one of our most successful branches. Are you looking to continually grow that branch, or do you feel like you're at a point now where you have seen enough growth and you're trying to just maintain where you guys are at?
No way. There's it's like being a fish. If you stop swimming, you die. Where we haven't scratched the surface. We've done some amazing things in 5 years. We went from a Regis cubicle to one of the top 10 offices in the nation in 6 months, and we've maintained it for years now. It's not close to being over. We're going to get way bigger, way more. I want to put 20 reps in this office. I want to put 20 reps in my Phoenix North office. There is so much potential for even another Phoenix office to be able to come in, because there's just so many people moving here, so many houses being built every single day. There's the potential to be doing so much more that we've even scratched the surface of. We're putting a lot of effort into our recruiting right now and trying to get the word out about this opportunity to people. Yeah. We do it everywhere.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head, and I love hearing that the opportunity is being spread beyond just yourself and what you've been able to achieve personally. So, Mike, man, I appreciate you taking out some time today. Obviously, one of our more successful branch managers and regional managers. Man, I look forward to talking to you here in the near future as well.
I appreciate you very much, Zup. I love you, brother.
We'll talk here soon, Mike.
Take care.